Part 1. A humble beginning. Artyom was born into an ordinary family in a small town. His parents worked at a factory and always taught their son, be hardworking and honest, and you'll succeed. As a child, he was not especially popular among his peers, but he had incredible curiosity. He loved taking apart old computers that neighbors were throwing away and building something new from the pieces. Sometimes they wouldn't even turn on. Sometimes they sparked, but the main thing was he learned. At school, Artyom wasn't a straight A student, but in computer science, he always showed the best results. His teacher often said, "You have real talent, Artyom. Don't waste it." By the time he graduated, he could already write simple programs, calculators, small games, even a mini chat that worked through a local network. At university, he chose computer science, and his passion only grew stronger. He realized the world was changing fast. Smartphones appeared, social networks thrived, people lived in a digital space. Deep inside, he already dreamed of creating a program that could change the lives of millions. At first, this sounded like a fantasy because it was hard to break through without money or connections. But one day, he faced a problem that flipped his life upside down. Artyom noticed that most students and even professors always struggled with the same thing, an overwhelming flow of information. Articles, books, lectures, reports, people simply couldn't keep up. What if I created a program that could help find the essence of texts, highlight the main ideas, and structure knowledge? He thought. The idea seemed crazy, but he felt there was a chance in it. The first version of the program, Artyom, began working at night, freelancing on the side to pay for food and tuition. He wrote code, tried different algorithms, experimented with machine learning. The first version of his program he named MindSort, the sorter of thoughts. The program could upload a text file and automatically split it into meaningful blocks. Then it picked out keywords, created a short summary, and could even suggest questions for self-testing. Of course, the first version was far from perfect. Mistakes appeared in almost every text. The program often confused the important with the secondary, and sometimes produced absurd summaries. But even in this form, MindSort impressed his classmates. "Artyom, let me try it. I have an exam tomorrow," they asked. And suddenly it turned out that even with flaws, the program saved a huge amount of time. Students started sharing it, and soon half the faculty was using it. One day the dean called Artyom. He was afraid he'd be accused of inventing the ultimate cheat sheet. But instead, the dean said, "Well done, young man. If you improve this, you might have a big success." These words became a turning point. Artyom realized things were far more serious than he thought. First investments and a breakthrough after university, Artyom gathered a small team of equally passionate friends. Together, they rewrote MindSort from scratch, added multilingual support, connected databases, and designed a beautiful interface. A young investor named Sergey noticed the program. He invested $100,000 in the project. For Artyom, this was a fortune. The team rented an office, bought powerful servers, and hired 2 more programmers. The new version of MindSort worked much better. Now it not only shortened text, but could also analyze articles, create diagrams, and highlight key conclusions. The first users appeared quickly. At first, students and teachers, then office workers, journalists, lawyers. Anyone dealing with texts found value in the program. A year later, the project entered the international market. Artyom made an online platform. Anyone could upload text in a browser and get results. A subscription cost only $10 a month. That's when the real explosion happened. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world subscribed. For the first time, Artyom saw 6-figure sums appearing in his account. "We did it," he told his team. But greater challenges lay ahead. Part 4. Competitors and struggle. When the company's revenue reached tens of millions, competitors appeared. Large corporations launched their own analogs, and some even offered to buy MindSort. $1 million right now, and you're free, said the representative of a well-known firm. But Artyom refused. He believed his program could become something much bigger. To stay ahead, he integrated artificial intelligence that learned from millions of documents and grew smarter each day. Now, MindSort not only shortened text, but also generated reports, created presentations, and even made forecasts based on data. The program became indispensable in business, science, and medicine. Universities, corporations, and even governments started using it. Competitors tried to catch up, but Artyom was always one step ahead. He spared no time or effort, sometimes working days without sleep. We must not just make money. We must change the very approach to knowledge, he told his team. The billion and beyond a few years later, Artyom's company went public. Investors lined up, and shares skyrocketed within days. The company's valuation surpassed $1 billion. That evening, sitting by the window of his 50th floor office, Artyom looked at the night city. Lights stretched out before him. Cars rushed below. Life unfolded. He remembered the moment he first wrote a line of code for MindSort. Back then, it was just a way to help himself and his friends. And now, an empire. Artyom's bank accounts had millions, but for him, something else mattered more. He had created a product that helped millions of people worldwide deal with information and find the essence. Money is just numbers. The real thing is that we managed to change the future, he said. And deep inside, he knew this was only the beginning.